What's up? It's your girl Shayla T, and welcome back to another video. Yes, it's another Mommy Mondays, and we're back again. But like you read in that title, I almost wasn't here. I almost didn't make it to make this video, but obviously I made it. Birth control tried to take me out the game, but it couldn't stop me, so I'm still here. Okay, so this is not a drill. This is not clickbait. This is for real. So I'm dead serious when I say that my birth control almost took me out of here. Okay, took me.
Bruh.
Y'all see this? I was trying to hide it from y'all. I was trying to hide it. But you know, I didn't let that stop me from filming today. So whatever. But it almost took me out of here. So we're going to take a rewind. We're going to rewind it back, and again we're going to go back in time and kind of tell you how everything started. So I'm just going to piggyback off my previous video. If you haven't checked that out, I'm going to link that below, so make sure you check out my video where, yes, another birth control fail. I got pregnant with the IUD, so make sure you check that out. So I had 2 kids early. I had my daughter when I was 18. I had my son when I was 19. So I was not trying to have any kids. So like any woman who is still active but not trying to have any kids, your natural resort is going to be birth control. So like I said, I had 2 kids early, and after I had them back to back, I was like, ugh, I ain't trying to be Drake back to back, you know? Well, after I had them, I was really serious about not having kids. So I got the Mirena IUD. I had that for about almost 5 years. Now with that IUD, I had no problems. So again, if you want to know about how I got pregnant on the other IUD, you're gonna have to go check that out. But with the Mirena, I had no problems. It has, you know, low dosages of hormones in it, and of course it's the I'm not even gonna say it. It's an IUD. I'm gonna put that right there. I can't even say it. I don't know why I can't say it. So yeah, that worked out perfectly. Again, I had that for almost 5 years. I did have a little trouble towards the end of the 5 years, which is that's how much time you're allotted on that birth control. I think because I had it for so long, it was hard to get it out. Yes, it was stuck. They had to yank it out. They almost couldn't get it out. I almost needed like surgery. I know you're like, that's a big deal, but I did it. They took it out. It had no problems. So after that, I was just sitting here thinking, like, you know, I don't want no more kids, but you know, they told me that I was too young to get my tubes tied. So again, I don't know, I might be saying this at least 265,312 times, that I did not want any more kids. But they thought I was too young to get my tubes tied. My doctor was like, I'm not doing it for you because you might want to have another baby. You never know. So it's just like, it's crazy how they get to make that choice for you, but that's a whole nother video. So I was too young to get my tubes tied. I kind of didn't want the Mirena again. I wanted to explore other options. So in the meantime, in between time, I decided to do some research and kind of figure out what I wanted to do. I mean, there is a lot of options on the market, you know, and I just didn't know the pros and cons to a lot of the birth control. So I decided, you know what, in the meantime, in between time, I was going to take the pill. So, you know, for the first few weeks, that's how it went. I took my pill every day. I made sure I took it at night because I'm more of a nighttime person. I don't like the morning. I hate morning shifts. I hate waking up in the morning. I stay up all night. I like to stay up at night, but I don't like the morning. But so I took it, you know, in the evening at a good time that worked for me. All was well, y'all. I took my birth control every day, the same time of day. It was going good, you know, for about 3 weeks. And then one day I forgot. I know what you're saying. 3 weeks? That's it? You can only hang in there for 3 weeks? I know, man, I was disappointed with myself. I could only hang in there for 3 weeks, but you know, it was 3 weeks more than I thought I could. So, all right. So then I read, you know, I was reading the directions. They give you a little pamphlet with your birth control pills. I was reading it like, well, what happens when you miss one? Because, you know, nobody want to have no kids. I didn't want to have no baby. So I don't know where I got this from. I don't know how true it is, but in my mind, or what I thought I seen that you can double up on the birth control. So I missed it one day and then I just took 2. So I was like, okay, that's easy enough. Everything was going good for another week or so until I forgot again. And I'm like, okay, my research is going to have to, I'm going to have to speed up the research, because I'm playing with myself, and it's only a matter of time before I wind up with a baby in my belly. And I didn't want that, y'all. I'm serious. I didn't want that. So I was just like, okay, let me speed up the process to kind of see what I really want, and let me stop forgetting to take them. So I doubled up again on them, and all was well. I had it for like a few more weeks. Everything was perfectly fine. I was taking it on time. It was all good until something started happening with me. So sometimes I do have anxiety. I had an anxiety attack before in the past. It's a whole nother video, but I've suffered from minor anxiety problems. And around this time that I was taking the birth control pill, I started to feel my heart just beat. I could feel it beating, and my chest was always tight. And it was just like, my first instinct was that I was having some type of anxiety panic attack, but I wasn't panicking. Everything was fine. There was no issues. I wasn't stressing. Like, life was good. And I don't know. I just was like, weird. I told my husband about it. I'm just like, I don't really feel well. And it was just like, well, kind of check it out. So, a couple more weeks go by of me just having this antagonizing feeling. Like, the feeling was just, nagging. Again, my chest was tight. It almost felt like I was going to die. I'm not even going to lie to you. It felt like I was going to die. And I was just like, what is going on? Why am I feeling like this? What's going on? So, like what normal person would do, I went into the emergency room. Now, okay, I know you're like, a normal person would have just called your doctor, but I didn't do all that. So I just went into the emergency room to kind of say like, hey, what's wrong with me? My heart. You can hear that thing beating. I can feel that thing beating. Why is my chest so heavy? What's going on with me? So, they put me on the EKG. They take a whole bunch of tests. I do it, blood work, the whole 9 yards. And finally, the doctor comes in there, with my results, letting me know what's going on. And he told me, Shayla, there ain't nothing wrong with you. I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure? He's like, there ain't nothing wrong with you. You good. You fine. All your lab work, testing, everything comes back normal. Your heart is coming back normal. You probably had an anxiety attack. So I'm like, okay, maybe I do. I'm telling them, they're like, are you stressed? Are you feeling pressure? I'm like, no, I'm feeling fine, besides the issues with my chest and stuff. Like, I don't know. I was feeling fine, I thought. But they were like, you know what? No, everything's good. They gave me my paper to exit stage left, and they just diagnosed me with maybe possible anxiety. So I'm just like, okay, maybe I'm tripping. Am I going crazy? Like, maybe I'm going crazy. Like, you know what? They said it wasn't anything, so I was happy it wasn't anything. So everything is good. We're going to fast forward. Like, I'm still not feeling okay, but I'm just putting it to the back of my mind. Like, maybe I have anxiety. Maybe I need to find some type of therapist. Something's going on with me that maybe I'm just not aware about. And that's that. So it comes to my son's birthday. I'm throwing him a birthday party. All the family is coming. We're having a dinner, not a real huge party. It's just an intimate family thing. And at this point, I'm feeling like an imminent, like I'm feeling horrible. Like, I can't really participate with the party. It's like every step I take, it feels like 1,000 tons. An elephant is just sitting on my chest, just weighing me down. I felt awful to the point, like, I literally, again, had that feeling like I'm going to die. I'm dying. So, I mean, it's just like, it was so scary. Like, having that feeling like, you know what? I don't know if I'm going to make it, y'all. That is a very scary feeling. And if you haven't felt that way before, God bless you. I'm happy that you have it. But it's a very scary feeling to have. And that's the way I was feeling. So again, I go to the emergency room because I'm like, you know what? It feels like I'm having a heart attack. Something's going on right now. Something's going on right now. It's an emergency. I can't even take it, y'all. So I go there. They do all that. EKG, everything, blood work, all that. Take tests. The doctor come back. He's like, ain't nothing wrong with you. And I'm like, no, there's no way. Because at this point, not only was my chest hurting and I was feeling way down, I was feeling the pressure. Every time I took a deep breath, it was a sharp pain. At first I thought maybe my back is aching, my bra too tight. I really thought maybe my bra was too tight. I needed a bigger bra. Like, these things be growing, okay? Maybe they too heavy, you know, what's going on? I don't know. So that's what I originally thought. You know yourself better than any doctor, any nurse, more than anyone, because you are with yourself 24/7. So you know when something is not right. And I just had that antagonizing feeling that it wasn't right. You know, they sent me home and I was scared to go to sleep, y'all. Like, that's how bad the feeling had got. I was literally scared to go to sleep. I felt like, you know, I might not wake up. And it's just a really sucky feeling. So not only am I feeling like this, now I am having anxiety from feeling like this. So it's just like, they keep telling me, ain't nothing wrong with you, girl, you fine. But when you feel like you're not fine, it's kind of like... So at this point, I do go to my doctor. I make an appointment. I'm like, Doc, come check me out, because everything can't be fine. So of course, you know, not of course, because some doctors, they don't take you serious. Thank God I had a wonderful doctor. He really took me serious, kind of figured out like what's going on. Because a lot of times when you are young, because this happened a few years back, you know, I was young. But when you are young, sometimes they feel like, oh, you're young. There's nothing wrong with you. You're fine. Everything's cool. My doctor decided to do an x-ray. You know, he decided to do more blood tests, like a more in-depth blood test. And he did more things. So everything then, again, came back normal. But he's just like, you know what? I want to take it a step further, because you're feeling like this, like, and that's not like you. So at that point, he was like, I'm going to try one more thing. We're going to give you a CT scan and kind of just check it all out in there. Make sure your insides is flowing. Make sure everything is all good. Because you're saying you're feeling this way. Your stuff is coming back this way. We got to figure out what's going on. So if you haven't had a CAT scan before, it's a crazy process. They have to like shoot some dye into your IV, and the dye, once it like goes through your entire body, and the purpose of the dye is to kind of like bring color to your body, so that way when they're doing the scan, they can see. I guess that's really like, that's in a nutshell. That's CT for dummies. Okay, so they did that, all that, and it's crazy when you do get the dye. It's warm, like it feels like, it feels so weird. It feels so funny. Comment below if you've ever had one and tell me how that experience was for you, because it feels funny. But you know, that's it's a painless process. It's a fast process. I get that over with, so I'm waiting for my results. The cool thing about it is my nurse, y'all, is my husband's auntie. So it's crazy. She worked at my doctor's office, and she comes in there. She looks very solemn. And I'm like, at this point, I'm expecting to say, nothing's wrong with you. I mean, they've been saying that, like, you just have anxiety, or who knows, you're crazy. But this was not the case. So she came in there and she told me that I had multiple. So not one, not two, but 3 blood clots in my lungs. That's one of the most scariest moments of my life. Like, scary. You know, she literally told me, like, girl, you could have died. People usually do not have symptoms when they have a blood clot in their lungs, which is called a pulmonary embolism. And, you know, I'm gonna list the side effects down in the comment section below, because if you are experiencing or you think you may have it, it's serious. You have to get that checked out. But my life changed for that. My life changed that day. It was, you know, it was very scary. And the thought that them things could have traveled all the way, like, to my brain, gave me a stroke, could have traveled, could have had a heart attack. Like, literally, people die every day from a pulmonary embolism. So it's just that I could have died. We took a whole bunch of tests to figure out what was the source of the cause of me having blood clots, because I've never had one before. And to make a long story short, because it's already a long story, it was because of my birth control. And that is a common side effect, actually, that it can cause blood clots. Something that I did not know, something that I have never heard of, because I haven't known nobody to have it. And it's just like, these birth controls have a lot of side effects and a lot of symptoms. And sometimes you have to be very vigilant and you have to look out. So I say all that to say, I was fortunate. I was blessed. Thank God I'm still here. My birth control almost took me out, but it didn't, because I made it through. It was a stressful moment in my life. Thank God for my husband and my kids, because they really held it down in that point in my life. There is nobody on the planet who knows you better than you know yourself. So if you are feeling a certain way, do not let anybody discredit you. Always listen to your intuition. So with that being said, let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. Have you been through this? You know somebody who's been through this? Have you had any side effects from a birth control? Doesn't have to be a pulmonary embolism or blood clot, but have you had any side effect that was just not cool, or that almost took you out, or just made you something? And most importantly, make sure you like, comment, share, and most importantly, subscribe. And I will see y'all on Wednesday with the Wife Wednesday. And oh yeah, you can always turn on that bell to be notification gang, even though this gang is like, it's not. But I'll see you next time. No.